A new firestorm of controversy for rapper Ye tonight.
2022 was not a good year for the rapper Ye.
Now banned from Twitter after more anti-Semitic comments and posts.
To say that the rapper fell off is an understatement. We basically saw the collapse of one of the biggest names in music.
The thing about it, me and Adidas, is like, I could literally say anti-Semitic and they can't drop me.
Losing millions upon millions of dollars in brand deals and whatever goodwill he had left in the music industry. Posting the most lambastic takes on social media and going on controversial talk shows to expound some of the most baffling claims that will more than likely be used as examples of character studies decades after we're all gone. And that's just barely scratching the surface of what kind of consequences we'll be seeing from here on out. But this is not a channel dedicated to talking about such controversies, as we are not here to bury the career of the rapper known as Ye. This video is here to celebrate the career of one Kanye West.
I am Kanye West. As you probably could have guessed by this moment, I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
And the only way to do that is by going back. Like going way back.
Top lights, flashlights, spotlights, strobe lights, street lights.
Further. Further.
To the league, from an eighth to a key, but you graduate when you make it up out of the streets.
Further.
Broke, now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
Further, damn it.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Okay, almost there.
Yo, money,
Alright, so.
Yo, it's the Lake Shore Drive, keep it live, side ball. You better hurry up, they can't keep it in the store.
Let's not forget how much of a success story West was back in the day. Even as a child, West had an affinity for music, writing poetry at age 5. He began rapping at grade 3 and was writing and selling musical compositions by grade 7. When he dropped out of Chicago State University, he pursued the chance to make music, producing for local acts in the mid-1990s. But the real shot in the arm for West's career came in 2001 when he contributed to 4 tracks off the seminal Blueprint album by Jay-Z.
Shit like it was a sitcom itself, or like a piece of a movie or something.
Taping him? Yeah.
Not like say like if the Black album was like the Black movie or something.
Credits including the lead single off the album, Izzo Hova.
H to the Izzo, B to the Izzy. My nizzle used to dribble down in VA.
A huge hit for Jay-Z thanks in small part to West's production.
The choice for me in the music business is watching a new artist develop into their own. I mean, that shit just bring me joy, like to see an artist come from nothing and then, you know, they known, he has a name. That's Kanye West. That's Kanye West. He's signing an autograph.
But West wanted to be more than a producer. He wanted to make and perform his own music. So not wanting him to defect to another record label, he got signed to Rockefeller Records. But before he could truly start working his own material, in 2002 he was involved in a car accident that almost took his life. While surviving the accident, it resulted in his jaw being shattered and needing reconstructive surgery. As a result of the surgery, his jaw had to be wired shut for the healing process. What might have been the end of one's career, it became the catalyst for the rapper to begin work on his first album. As 3 days after the crash, he began rapping the lyrics to a song about the experience. 2 weeks after the wiring, he was behind the mic recording what would become Through the Wire.
Yeah, I drink a boost for breakfast, an insure for dessert. Somebody order pancakes, I just sip the scissor.
And keep in mind, his jaw is still wired when he's rapping this song.
Wired shut for like, I don't know, the doctor said like 6.
You made me want to get in an accident.
And it was with this song he managed to convince Rockefeller executives to let him make his own album. An album that would become the College Dropout.
So hot right now, give it up for Kanye West!
When released, the College Dropout was lauded, being called Album of the Year by numerous publications. And it was also a commercial success, with his first week of sales accumulating 441,000 copies being sold, with the album debuting at number 2 on Billboard. As of 2020, the album has sold over 4 million copies, and continues to be considered one of the greatest rap albums of all time. As well, it would kick off a trilogy by West with education-based albums, with Late Registration being released in 2005,
Late Registration from Kanye West,
and Graduation 2007.
Mr. West, Mr. West, Mr. Fresh.
Available September 11th at FYE.
And I can keep going on and on about West and his golden years, but that's not the intended purpose of this video. This history lesson is focusing squarely on one song off of College Dropout. So for this episode, we are not looking at one music video. We are actually looking at 3.
Most of all, we are more ourselves.
So take a walk with me, as it is once again music video time. And we are talking about Kanye West and the music videos to Jesus Walks. The 4th single off of the College Dropout, Jesus Walks, was released as a single on May 25th, 2004, and its videos have very unique production histories.
Can I take a picture?
All 3 of you guys, hurry up!
Also, you might be wondering, why in God's name did Kanye want to make 3 music videos to one song?
Through the gate, I wanted to have like multiple videos.
Well, as West put it back in 2004, he considered the song to be that important. To quote him during a screening at Tribeca Cinemas, "That song evokes so much emotion, and 4 minutes of imagery limits the ideas that you're supposed to give for the songs, so I had to do 3. He's not exaggerating when he says there's a lot of imagery in these videos, but we'll get there when we get there. Now, if you're unaware, West is very vocal about his Christian faith.
My dad and he told me it ain't Christ-like. I'm just trying to find, I've been looking for a new way.
Maybe not compared to now, though, as back in 2004, West admitted to not being religious. As he told the New York Times, religion just means that you do something over and over. I will say that I'm spiritual, I have accepted Jesus as my savior, and I will say that I fall short every day.
We're at war! We're at war with terrorism, racism, but most of all, we're at war with ourselves!
To get this off the bat, Jesus Walks is a really good track off of College Dropout. As you might expect from its name, it's about Jesus and how he walks with all types of people, good or evil.
Killers, murderers, drug dealers, even the strippers. To the victims of welfare, for we living in hell here, hell yeah!
No matter what, Jesus is always there for them. But because there is an obvious religious message to it, Rockefeller was very concerned about it not playing on the radio. In spite of these worries, the song ended up peaking at number 11 on the Hot 100. It eventually was certified triple platinum by the RIAA. As well, it was used in religious ministries as a way to bridge the gap between the hip-hop genre and gospel. In her biography, West's mother, Donda West, mentioned that during a youth revival, over 300 children and adolescents gave their lives to Jesus Christ when Kanye performed this song. With a song this dominating, you would certainly expect the music videos to be just as powerful. Well, Kanye originally wanted Hype Williams to direct the video. A choice that makes sense due to how prolific Williams continues to be for music videos, but West changed his mind after hearing that Jay-Z wanted him to direct the 99 Problems video.
Trying to see no highway chase with Jake, plus I got a few dollars I could fight the case.
Williams didn't end up directing that video, as Mark Romanek would be the one behind the camera. So the role for directing Jesus Walks would instead be given to Michael Houseman. Now, Houseman had made numerous music videos at that point, including videos for Bonnie Raitt and Madonna. Most notably, Houseman was the director for Madonna's Take a Bow, a video that would win the singer Best Female Video at the 1995 Video Music Awards.
I want to thank the director, Michael Houseman, and the greatest cinematographer in the world, Harris Savides.
Before making the video to Jesus Walks, Houseman only had a vague clue as to who West was.
Somebody tell these who Kanye West is.
But once the director was told by West that he was a fan of the Take a Bow video, and after listening to the song itself, the director was on board with the project. As Houseman described it, thematically, it was touching all the buttons, and especially considering I was going through a heavy period myself where I was having to examine faith. So it certainly was hitting emotionally a lot of things for me, so I wrapped my arms around it big time. When the Kanye West College Dropout Video Anthology DVD got released, it included all 3 versions of Jesus Walks, as well as an hour-long making-of video with all 3 versions. As well, they gave specific names to show which version is which. So, version 1 is known as the church version.
This is the Jesus Walks video.
One bad morning.
Shot in Los Angeles, California, the plot of this video centers around West in the role of a preacher, rapping his song to his congregation.
What's the basis?
Wouldn't that be great to have a sermon be done in a rap? I'm certainly going to the wrong church.
God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down.
Anyways, interspersed with the sermon are an alcoholic, prostitute, and a gang member running away from their problems, in the literal sense for various reasons. And during their escape from their current positions in life, they are helped by angels who are guiding them to the church West presides over. And once they make it to church, they give up their vices and give themselves to Jesus.
God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down.
And then the video ends. Once the editing session for the video began, West started having problems with how it was coming along.
Michael Hausman gave me the treatment. He told me it's a lavish story about these three lost souls. Right when that beat comes on, boom, boom, they look up and they just start walking. They don't know why they're walking. But their journey was supposed to be so hard. You know what I'm saying? It says they're walking through water, almost getting hit by cars.
For the editing, Robert Duffy took the helm. Duffy at that time just got done with editing the 99 Problems video. And what West was seeing did not mesh well with him.
And then when I got it, it was like a car stops and then you walk across the street. I'm like, that's not almost getting hit by a car. What are you doing, man? Man. What happened to walking through the water?
But the problem he had was that the video was not flowing as well as 99 Problems. It wasn't as fast-paced as he wanted it to be. Hausman would recollect telling West that he was the one that wrote the song, and it had a different story and rhythm compared to Jay-Z's. Eventually, the director was turned off by the project and went back home as his son was sick at the time. And because of that, there wouldn't be any reshoots or do-overs. What we see is what we got for the video.
There's nothing I can do now to right my wrongs.
And I do agree with Kanye about the quality of the video. It doesn't work at all.
That my feet don't fail me now.
For a good majority of the video, you just see people walking or running from their troubles while Kanye raps at church. That's basically the video.
That sounds pretty boring.
Also, with a song as heavy on themes such as racism and drug dealing and asking for repentance of God, the video doesn't have a lot of emotional impact that can complement these themes. As well, parts of the video do not sink in with the song itself.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
When it opens up, you hear a drill sergeant barking out orders to his soldiers who respond.
But most of all,
there's nothing visual in the video to complement this, rendering it rather odd. On the flip side, there's footage of the police and rioting that seem tacked on to the video. I get why they are there due to it being shot in LA, but it's distracting due to it coming off as superfluous. But overall, the biggest problem with the video is how it presents itself. It's talking about serious subjects such as alcoholism and prostitution, but it seems so sanitized. Hell, there isn't even any bullet wounds in this guy. You see in the video that he gets shot at, appearing to be dead, but no bullet wounds.
Trying to break me down. The only thing that
I still have no idea if it was meant to be dead or not. So I just agree with Kanye thinking that this video did not work, which is really a shame because the concept seems good on paper, but the overall execution is faulty. If there's any happy endings to this video's production, it's that a year after the music video, Hausman would receive a message from West through his answering machine. The machine had West apologizing for his behavior. While this would be the only music video Hausman would make for West, the two did not have any hard feelings from their experience.
The only thing that I pray is that my feet don't fail me now.
So not liking with how the first version turned out, West wanted to make another video. So for the second version of Jesus Walks, the production history is different from the first. For one thing, West had to do some convincing with the head of Rockefeller, Damon Dash. The first music video wasn't made on a small budget. In fact, the budget was $650,000, which is now a lot in terms of music video standards. West was able to get Dash to sign off on another video, this time with the budget being at $500,000. As well, West had to contribute to the budget with some of his own money. So when it came time for a director for this version, West decided to work with someone he was familiar with. Enter Chris Milk.
I remember calling Chris Milk, almost running back with my tail dragging between my legs.
Now, Milk's portfolio included making commercials, sometimes for video games.
Help! Help!
And I must say, I was pleasantly surprised to find out he directed commercials for both Paper Mario and Battle Tanks 2. As for music videos, before being introduced to West, he had made the music video to the Chemical Brothers' The Golden Path.
Of how I came to die. I was confused.
It's a really cool video, and I would recommend watching it if you haven't. And this video also impressed West too, as after he was shown the video, he wanted Milk to direct the College Dropout's third single, All Falls Down.
Come on, and when it all falls down, man, I promise.
This video does do something interesting by having it be shot in the first-person perspective. Also has Stacey Dash in it playing Wes's girlfriend.
Stacey Dash, most of these girls ain't got a clue.
The experience making All Falls Down led to a friendship between the rapper and director. Milk himself would say that West was one of his closest friends at the time. Interestingly, Milk was told about the first version of Jesus Walks, and West had offered Milk to direct his idea. The director, however, had another idea in mind and declined the offer, but he still went to the shoot to watch. Due to the disappointment West had with the first video, he came back to Milk wanting to make his version instead.
He wanted to do the video, and I turned down his treatment and went with Michael Housen's treatment for a lot of money.
This version would appropriately be called the Chris Milk version.
Yeah.
And Milk's version is an absolute contrast to Wes's vision.
I wanna talk to God, but I'm afraid 'cause we ain't spoken so long.
Prison guards beating up prisoners, drug smuggling. And possibly the biggest scene stealer is the process of a tree being cut down and transformed into a burning cross by a member of the KKK.
My character's a Klansman. He goes out and he's just mad at the world, he's mad at black people, he's mad at everybody.
Absolutely, this video pushed a lot of buttons when it came out. And that's what I like so much about it. It comes off as more realistic compared to the first one to me. And I don't mean besides the use of angels in the first video. And justifies parts of the song's production, such as why there is a drill sergeant at the beginning.
Saying we eat pieces of like you for breakfast, huh? Y'all eat pieces of what's the basis?
And using children playing skip rope singing the chorus makes more sense than a church choir.
Hell yeah.
Jesus was there. It's much more visually pleasing and unique, especially with the Klansman. At the end of the video, the burning cross falls, causing the Klansman to chase after it and subsequently gets set on fire.
The only thing that I pray is that my feet don't fail me now.
But only by God does the fire get extinguished, which can be seen as forgiving the Klansman for his hate. That's really powerful.
Ladies and gentlemen, big hand for Kanye West, he's rapping.
Once the video was finished, the intended purpose for it was to replace the first music video. I'm assuming they were either going to shelve version 1 and not have it be shown to the public, or maybe be added to the DVD later on. However, when version 2 was sent to MTV to have it premiere on the channel, the execs thought it was too controversial to be shown on the channel's daytime hours. My mother would certainly not have liked me watching a Klansman burning a cross while I was eating my Cocoa Puffs. So with a bit of negotiations between MTV and Rockefeller, it was decided that the second version would be shown at night. A decision that Milk said infuriated West as he didn't want that version to see the light of day. As well, Houseman's video would be shown on MTV, while Milk's video played on MTV2, which was the less popular channel out of the two. Damon Dash claimed that the reasoning for having Milk's video on MTV2 and at a later time was due to the controversial Janet Jackson halftime show.
This is the woman at the center of it all, Janet Jackson, speaks out.
You know the one. Where Justin Timberlake causes one of Jackson's breasts to be exposed and causing her to get blacklisted. Odd claim to make since this seems to be rather apples to oranges. MTV spokesman Graham Fuller said that the Super Bowl incident had nothing to do with where and when these videos were played, and they asked the record label on where they wanted them at. I'm assuming there is truth somewhere in the middle. And I do get where Kanye is coming from. One version is better than the other. But considering that these two videos' combined budget amassed over $1 million, I say the record label didn't want funds to be wasted with the Houseman version not being shown. So with this decision, the first video got daytime play on MTV proper, while Milk's video was said to have played between 9 to 10 p.m. on MTV2. But that didn't stop Milk's video from getting recognition for its quality, as this video would receive Best Video nominations at various award shows, including winning Best Video at the 2005 BET Awards. Video of the Year. It was also nominated for 2 awards at the 2005 Video Music Awards, both for Video of the Year and Best Male Video, with West winning the latter. So having a second shot at creating a music video to a song that was personal to West worked out well for him at the end.
Being at the top of his mountain, that's crazy. Shot, it's like the end of the movie.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly.
And for the relationship between West and Milk, they ended up making one more music video together for Touch the Sky.
Focus on this. Do you know who I am?
This is why this is why we couldn't never work out, Nia.
Another banger video by Milk, I might add.
You gon' touch the sky.
I do want to mention something in particular that happened during the shoot of Milk's video, and it involved getting punked. Back in 2004, MTV had a prank television series called Punked, where host Ashton Kutcher would get actors to prank celebrities. For the June 13th, 2004 episode of the show, the prank was that the Los Angeles Film Commission went to the set of the video and claimed that they were shooting without a permit.
Hold on. You can't shoot yet. I haven't seen a permit. Are you the artist?
for you to come on my trailer.
No, you can't shoot in the trailer.
As such, they shut down production and they try to confiscate the film. I say try as Kanye manages to take the film back and tries to drive off the set with it. But Kutcher manages to catch up to him and lets him know that he got punked.
Is that Ashton?
Punked. I would never live that down.
It's a really nice little time capsule for MTV during the 2000s and showed West taking the whole prank well at the end.
This is Kanye to the, and I just got punked.
Not sure if he would now.
It's an event, and I'm just really happy about it. I just really like videos.
Now, you would think West would be satisfied with the second music video, as it seemed to have touched upon the themes rather well.
No.
But as it turned out, West thought that one more video should be made for Jesus Walks.
Seeing the Chris Milk video was something I was still missing. I still felt like I didn't have the hood, and that's what Jesus Walks is for, the hood.
For the final video in this trilogy, it was co-directed by West himself. This would be the second time he directed a music video, as he received directing credit for Through the Wire, his first ever music video. Speaking of, his co-directors Cudi and Chike would be in the director's chair along with him for this version. This version, also known as the street version, would be Cudi Simon's and Chike Oza's second music video they directed. Cudi recalls being called up by Kanye saying, "I did the 2 Jesus Walks videos, but I'm not getting no soul out of those. Let's do the one you wrote." Apparently Cudi did a treatment for Jesus Walks and had it on him before they ever directed Through the Wire. So this treatment was made around 2003 or so. And sure, making 3 music videos to one song seems like a lot. And it is. It's not a lot like Yes and having 18 music videos to one song. That would just be silly. But you might not be surprised to learn that Kanye actually wanted to do more videos to Jesus Walks, mentioning to a crowd in 2004 he wanted to do 5 videos altogether. Thankfully he stopped at 3 because I have no clue where else he would go from here. With this version of Jesus Walks, the budget was parsed down thousands of dollars to have the budget be $50,000. Still a decent amount of money to spend. Unlike the first 2 videos, this was shot in Chicago, Illinois.
This motherfucker doing the 3rd one, and what the we bring it to home? We in motherfucking Inglewood, goddammit, we here.
And along with the massively smaller budget, it was also shot in one day, guerrilla style.
Yeah, we did the 3rd one with me, Cudi, and Chike, who had did Through the Wire in 2 words. We did that video in 1 week. I'm talking about final edit. From the point of the people landing in Chicago to shoot.
But still, Kanye had to put some money into the budget.
We at war.
So in the street version of Jesus Walks, it has Jesus walking, and Jesus walks with him. This is a literal music video of Jesus Walks with walking Jesus.
You know what the Midwest is, young and restless.
And there's a stark contrast with the first 2 videos in terms of tone, because I ended up laughing during this video.
From Avis, my mama used to say only Jesus could save us.
I think it actually ends up having a more later tone compared to the first 2.
Really like a Kanye idea, like it's quirky, intelligent. Still, you could use examples of how Jesus can work in modern day times, whatever.
And it's also the most basic, as you get to see Jesus perform miracles for Kanye, and then Kanye passing the good fortunes on to others. Not to say Jesus doesn't help anyone else, as he helps this one guy who is on crutches. But then in the second part of the song, Kanye is at a church and then goes to the podium to sing the rest of the song.
I ain't here to argue about his facial features, but here to convert atheists into believers.
It's basically doing the same thing as the first video did, except having Kanye play as himself. I don't think that's a fault in the video. I just think they ran out of ideas for a video they intended to shoot in one day. But I wouldn't say it's a bad video. Its pacing is good, and the lighthearted tone is shockingly suitable. Maybe it's because of the director's intent of making it have a raw aesthetic that comes off as more natural.
And I don't think there's nothing I could do now to right my wrongs.
So the video was first premiered on June 23rd, 2004 on MTV.com. Yes, this version was an internet exclusive, though Cudi did say this was shown on MTV, but not as much as the others. Which is really interesting since Chike said that Damon Dash considered this his favorite, probably because it was also the cheapest. These 3 videos made their first appearance at Tribeca Cinemas on June 21st, 2004, and were shown back to back. Cudi and Chike remarked that their version of Jesus Walks was the only one of the 3 that received a standing ovation. Now, I wasn't there for the event, but I feel like the audience stood and applauded for all 3 of them. but that's just me. But Chike did say something interesting in his interview. I thought all the videos were great, but we captured the soul that Kanye was trying to get across. I'm guessing that with Kanye being behind the director's chair, he got a chance to actually see how it looked behind the camera and felt comfortable with how it turned out. Then again, he did say he wanted to make 5 versions, so take that what you will. If you want to hear my opinions on the videos, I would say that out of the 3 versions, the Chris Milk directed video was the best. It has a lot of striking ideas and visuals that are rather profound at points. Well edited and well executed, it absolutely deserves the acclaim it has gotten. At the same time, the street version, for being a lower budgeted video compared to the first 2, is still good. It's very much aware with how little resources it had to make do with, and made them work. And it being a little bit more comedic was surprising but welcomed. As for the first version, I really don't like how the final product turned out. I can't really say much else about it besides it really does not work. And the fact it cost $650,000 still baffles me. Did the majority of the video go to shooting permits? But altogether, the combined budget to all 3 of these videos amounted to $1.2 million. If this was one music video, it would easily be one of the most expensive music videos ever made. For comparison's sake, Kanye's music video The Stronger from 2007 was also $1.2 million. That's just bizarre to think about. In some ways, the production history behind these 3 videos say a lot about what to expect from Kanye in the future. His persistence in getting his vision across showed how meticulous he can be about music. When the first one didn't work out, he had to ask to make another, and then make another. Just really wanted to get it right or to satisfy him. And I found it rather odd that the Chris Milk version, with Kanye claiming it didn't have the soul he was looking for, not only picked up a lot of acclaim and accolades, but it's also the only version that is on Kanye's YouTube channel. The first version not being there makes sense since he had reservations for it, but I thought he was fine with the version he directed. Maybe perception changed over time. As for Kanye...
Kanye West has found a new love, a new Valentine, and, ladies and gentlemen, a new wife.
I really do hope to do more music video time episodes on him. Jesus Walks is just scratching the surface on his creativity, and his just as expansive music video catalog is worth talking about, especially since he directed a couple himself. But for now, I just hope he'll do a complete turnaround in 2023 compared to his terrible takes in 2022. I kinda doubt it though, since at this time, it seems like, for lack of better words, the devil has already brought him down. But until whatever happens to him next, all I can say is, thanks for your time.